Hey, good
Hello.
morning.
Good morning.
All right.
We are in episode 400 and something.
Four, 407, man.
407.
Yeah. Yeah.
Excellent. Excellent. How are you doing?
I'm doing all right, man. How you doing?
I am doing well.
Yeah. So
We
someone
had,
knows Scott and I got together with Kevin last night.
yes.
So we actually all got to see each other in real person and not internet person.
Yes. Yes. It's always nice when the three of us can get together. We finalized the final orders of the order fulfillment for Last Light.
Yeah.
So the final transport is away. We had promised a July 2025 delivery, so we got in just under the wire.
Yep.
But it's done. So it's always nice when those are all fulfilled. And Kevin and Brett got their inventories loaded up there, so they'll have those available at their upcoming show. So very good.
Yeah. We'll be doing I have talked about what we'll have at Fort Fest. That's a street fair in Fort Wayne. I know we'll have some books there. I'll definitely bring something down.
Yeah.
I'll probably bring some of those down, and Kevin will have some. But definitely for San Diego and Colorado Springs, we will have Last Light available along with the trades of Crimson Shadows, which is the first time to be at both those shows.
Yeah, yeah. So that's exciting. So if you're going to be out in those areas, go swing by Brett and Kevin's tables and buy them up.
Definitely. So, well, yeah. So I got to go out there. It's funny. It's Kevin texted us while I was on the road, and he's like, "I'll be there." It was like 4:00, and I was going, what should have been a 40-something minute drive. It turned out to be an hour and a half because of
Yeah.
traffic and weather through Detroit.
Well, weather-wise, those storms came out of nowhere. Those
And
weren't.
I didn't see any but like a light sprinkle the whole time. And my
Oh,
alerts were
really?
going off saying, "Oh, there's reports of flooded roads ahead." I get up somewhere, there's no flooding. There's
Here
time.
it was a
I'm like,
sudden downpour.
yeah, I am like 3 miles from Scott's place, and it's all red on the GPS.
Hmm.
And out of nowhere, it goes blue, and all of a sudden we're moving. And I went from it being like still 16 to 20
Yeah.
minutes away to being 5 minutes away.
Yeah, it was like a complete downpour out of nowhere. So
Yeah.
probably what you saw is maybe traffic had to stop or pull over for a moment because of the downpour, but it
That's what I'm
left as
thinking.
fast as it came. So
Yeah, I think a couple areas that would flood, like a couple of little underpasses, stuff like that,
yeah,
flooded real quick. So it slowed everything down, but then the water went away as fast as it hit. So it didn't
yeah,
linger. I saw pictures later about some areas around Oakland County, and it was definitely some of the highway was very flooded fast. So
yeah. We even during that time, the power went out a couple times and flickered on and off, and
mhm.
like so it just came out of nowhere.
Yeah,
I'm like, what's going on?
yeah. So yeah, but I
But
got there, and then we all got a chance to grab my eat and hang out for a little bit, sign some books for y'all, and
yeah. Oh, yeah, I wanna give a shout out to Jefferson Street Pub. We went
yeah,
there to eat, and if you're looking for, like, I don't wanna say hole in the wall, that sounds insulting. But
it's a diners, dive-ins, and drives type place. So
yeah, yeah, it's a great pub. It's it's amazing bar food, though, and well priced,
yeah.
and, the I don't know if they called them hush puppies, but they were like hush puppies that
It's
Kevin
a
had
little. They're
ordered.
like corn nuggets. So it's like little bits of corn
Yeah,
and like a corn breading.
so good.
Yeah, it's there in Harrison Township.
Yeah,
So there's the place
there it
right
is.
there. Great little pub bar. They had great staff. The food was excellent. I had the tater tots; those were tasty,
Yeah.
done just
I
right.
I
Uh,
used it as my cheat meal. I got a nice Swiss mushroom burger, so delicious. Yours look good. The
yeah, I had the
Jefferson Street
cheesesteak.
Pub's
Yeah,
steak sub or whatever.
yeah, and they sell merch. I didn't really see any of the merch there, but check it out next time we get up there. We can
Yeah.
go check them out in that. There's a good reviews. The waitress is always friendly. I would say our waitress was top notch. She was great. She's on top of everything. She was busy. So they have a group that comes in every Tuesday.
It's like
And
NASCAR fantasy football.
yeah, fantasy NASCAR is about the best way to describe it. And it's
Yeah.
not a extensive menu. What I liked was here's what we do, and this is what we do right. But the munchies were good because we got the battered corn nuggets.
That was
Next
yeah.
time we like I had to go in, may have to get like the sampler and try a couple different things. Like the mac and cheese
Yeah.
bites would be similar to the corn nuggets. The mushrooms sounded good. The cheese curds, poppers. It's a good
Oh,
little
look
mix.
at, I didn't see that. Philly cheesesteak egg rolls.
Yeah, I saw that. I almost got that, but I didn't want to order too much.
I missed that on there.
Yeah, that would be good. And then they have a seasonal one too. I have to find out what that is. I like
Yeah.
ravioli, so I mean, that's like I could just go and order appetizers and be good.
Jill's favorite on there would be the half pound of bacon.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of people. That's and Greek fries sounded good. They do some salads and soups. They have a
Yeah.
chili and a soup of the day, and they have some seafood. They do a Friday fish fry, but they do a natural pub style cod every day. And then the burgers were good. You guys had burgers. Kevin got that big bacon burger. You got the mushroom Swiss. And when they say lots of bacon and lots of mushrooms, it's lots of.
Oh yeah,
and lots of Swiss cheese too. There was no even on the Jefferson Steak Stuff. They loaded it up with the provolone. It was good.
Yeah, it was really good. So if you're in the Harrison Township area, they're near roughly 16 Mile and Jefferson area. They're by there. It's worth checking out.
Yeah. So there's a couple different ones listed like that, but that's the one, Jefferson Street Pub.
Yep.
I don't know if they're affiliated with the other ones, but that's definitely a way to go. So definitely check that out.
Yeah, good eats.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And if you really like that kind of food, I can help you find a house right nearby there. And so give us a call. 586-232-5144 is our team hotline, and Jill and I can help you out. It's real estate season, so if you're looking to buy or sell, this is the time. Especially, a lot of people with families, they like to make their moves during the summer so that their kids are, they'll be in a home and everything for the new school district that they're going to be attending. So if that sounds like you or someone give us a call. We'll take care of you.
Excellent.
Yeah. So I don't know if there's any particular topics you wanted to cover today. One thing I thought might be good is because we're kind of swinging into summer here. There's a lot of really good shows coming out on streaming.
Yep.
And we could review the upcoming list.
Well, the one you keep mentioning, we'll cover just a little bit, is that Department Q. I watched episode 2 this morning and started 3. Episode 1, it was, to me, it definitely is a slow drag in.
Yeah.
Episode 2, it gets a little better. You can get more of what's really going on. Watching it, though, I found interesting. The character that plays what they call the housekeeper, but she was in her garden when they go talk to her. Did you know who she was?
Housekeeper.
Yeah, she was in a little greenhouse when the guy goes over the fence to talk to her, and he kind of falls, the main guy, and the other guy had hopped it like nothing. But
yeah, who was she?
That is Moaning Myrtle from Harry Potter.
Oh, Moaning Myrtle. Yes. She is. Yes.
And you can tell by her voice because she has that naturally soft, squeaky voice.
It threw me off when you said the gardener. So she plays she shows up quite a bit throughout the whole thing.
Yeah, I saw that she's going to. So I looked her up real quick to make sure that's who it was.
Yeah, you can't escape the voice and look. I mean, she looks older, obviously, but she still looks like Moaning Myrtle. So it's a weird combination.
She was like 35 when she made the Harry Potter. She's 59 now.
Yeah,
still doesn't look 59. She really didn't look 59. She looked older, but she didn't look 59.
Right.
So. But she also did when they couldn't get Emma Watson to do some of the voice work for the Harry Potter ride stuff at Diagon Alley. She did that for the train initially and some of the ride stuff there. That Emma Watson wasn't part of. That's why you notice you only wrote it the once when I tricked you to get on it, but the Gringotts ride, the Hermione character in that isn't played by Emma Watson. They had somebody else, and they kind of kept her kind of obscured a little bit on purpose, and the voice and everything. So I don't know if she played the physical part, but it was her voice, is what my understanding. They've actually since in the last couple of years changed it to a different voice actress on the train that sounds more like Emma and doesn't have the higher pitch.
Okay.
So,
very cool.
But yeah, so she's definitely Harry Potter lore, and if you're a Harry Potter fan and gives you an excuse to watch it, definitely check it out. Because so far, the second episode I really liked, and into the third's getting pretty good.
Yeah. The series as a whole, it's not a fast-paced series, but I feel they do a great job on the character development throughout, and it becomes more intriguing as it goes. Mm-hmm. So that's what I liked about it, was the character development.
Yeah, like you said about the slow pace, it's definitely very British is the best way to put it.
Yes, it
Very
is.
drier compared to American style detective shows, which
Mhm.
doesn't bother me. I like that. It was just the initial part. It was I felt like the editing in that first episode, they kind of jumped around a little weird,
Yeah.
and it threw it. And I just had trouble really like, okay, do I really want to even get into this? So I waited. You kept talking about it, so I'll give the second episode a try. Much better in terms of editing and
Mhm.
getting into the story more.
Yeah, I agree. Yep, it moves along good, and then, but yeah, and there's a couple different actors in there who are big on British stuff, and then it's like, oh, I've recognized that person from this other thing, or so. There's a couple times people like that pop up.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
oh,
and the thing
good.
is with the British stuff is they reuse actors a lot.
Yes.
And so you'll get that with Doctor Who. You'll see some of the same actors even in Doctor Who that played other characters. And then you have them pop up in other series and you recognize them from that. So they definitely people pop up quite a bit in the British stuff.
Yeah.
Mainly because I think the British, in terms of the TV series, stuff like that, it's a lot different here in the US because there are not as many episodes. And a lot of their series are a lot of things end up being limited.
Yeah.
And so something going for a long time, you have some of those, but that's not the norm.
Right. Yeah, and then because of that, I started watching some other shows. A couple of them I've kind of tuned in and out. Like I give it an episode or two, I'm like, I'm not liking it. But it was I got a list that said like, if you like Department Q, you got to watch these 10 shows. So a couple of them I've tried so far. One I'm trying now is called Marcello. It's the name of the female in it. It's a little weird. It's a little difficult to follow at first, but I think I'm getting into the groove of the show. Basically, the main woman in it, her husband cheats on her. She's almost like an FBI agent, but for the British or something. And then she starts having these blackout episodes, and something happens while she's blacked out, and she'll wake up with blood. And so I don't know what's going on. Yeah, I'm still a little confused, but it's intriguing enough that I'm like, okay, I'll give this one a try. So we'll see if it goes anywhere.
Okay.
But yeah, there was like 10 different shows on there. So I got a few to, if I get one or two that are really good, I'll be happy. Paying all these network streaming subscriptions for something,
Oh yeah, and that's the whole thing, yeah. So there's a new series. Besides, we're going to talk a little about series. So there's a new one I just saw. It was popping up. It's Jensen Ackles from Supernatural's got a new series coming on Prime.
Oh, which series is that?
And it's called Countdown. He plays an LAPD detective. They have an exclusive scene on YouTube. I'm trying to find a trailer. Yeah, because this is the first I've heard of this, so I'd rather watch a trailer than the scene.
Prime Video, June 25th.
Yeah, so that's today.
Okay. Oh yeah, today.
Yeah.
What do you know? Netflix just came out. While you're looking that up, they came out with one called The Waterfront. That one was on the Department Q list, so I started watching that. I got 2 episodes in. It's moving really slow. I don't know if I'm going to stick with it. I might go back to it.
Yeah.
It's just boring.
Well, and that happens, and that's the part of it is some of these series. You get an episode or two in, and some people rave about them. They get through the whole thing, but I get a couple episodes. I'm like, if I'm bored, I don't know if I'm going to invest the time.
You need a hook at the beginning to really. You need something to grab the attention to say like, okay. Especially if you're going to have a slow burn at the start.
Yeah.
Give something so like the viewer knows like, okay, well, yes, it's slow, but I know something exciting is coming up, and I'm going to find out why that something exciting happened.
Right.
So it at least gives you anticipation. But like this one, I'm just kind of like, I'm 2.5 episodes in, and I'm like, I don't even care about any of these people yet.
Yeah, I've had some like that to the point of right now. If you ask me what they are, I could say I couldn't tell you because I was so bored. I just put it on my mind.
Yeah, I still don't know anybody's name in the show.
Yeah. So all right, so here's the trailer. So let's take a look at this and see what we think.
Ready to rock.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. You are the best, or I would not have selected you. Our mission could prevent another 9/11. Foreign player was planning a Chernobyl-level event here in Los Angeles. Nobody can know what we're working on.
You've done a few undercover runs.
Yeah.
Oh! Being under, it's about improv. You almost shot me. Yeah, but I didn't.
I thought it looked really good. Really good.
I know, right?
We're working to stop a weapon of mass destruction.
They were just here.
Hang on.
One mistake, we are dead.
Showtime.
You okay?
Oh,
No.
you care about me.
No.
That's very sweet.
They don't play by a rule book. Why should we?
I'll play this however you want to play it. Whatever the consequences.
You're acting like you had a death wish.
My God.
Well, that got a little salty. If I'm going out, I'm going out saving something.
I think it's worth checking out.
Yeah, I'll definitely check it out. There's a
There's-
very cliche-ish trailer.
Yeah, I felt generic. It felt like generic FBI action.
Yeah, I like
series.
Jensen, so I'll definitely check it out because of that. And if it's not, if it's kind of blah, then I'll stop watching it. But if it's enough to keep me hooked through it, then I will. So
Yeah. All right. So that comes out today.
yeah.
And then also in 2 more days, Squid Game season 3 comes out.
I didn't realize it was coming out so quick, and that's the final season. So
Is it? I still haven't seen season 2. Did you watch season 2?
I did. I
Was
liked
it.
it.
Was it good?
It was
Okay.
good. They're it's the premise is the guy that won the first season, he tries to get back in.
Right.
And then when he's there, you
Because
pick
that's
up
what
on-
a sane person would do.
well, he realizes there's something more to it, and he's basically
Yeah.
his whole life was screwed up anyways, even though he got money now. It's like
Right. He
it's
wants
like-
to undo them from the inside or
Yeah.
something.
So
But
it's
I enjoyed
and it's-
season 1.
yeah, and it's getting more into who's actually running the game because it's the old guy may have been like the grand master at the time in that first season. There's other people that really were running it. So
Yeah.
you get a little more into that, and you learn that through the second season, more of that stuff. And the third one should really bring a lot because they didn't finish the game in the second season.
Oh, so you're still in the same game. Okay.
So and it's
Because
still-
I noticed he was still alive in the trailer. I'm like, well, I know he makes it through season 2.
yeah. So and there's a lot of difference there and how the groups are and the dynamics. And since he learned what he learned to do it the first time, he's able to kind of try to educate some of the people the second time. And so I'll definitely watch that one. That'll be a good one. So I didn't realize that was coming out Friday. Yeah, geez.
Yeah.
And what I like is it's the final season, so we know there's a definite ending here. So
Yeah. Then it looks like, let's see here. I can pull up the list I'm looking at. It's from Entertainment Weekly if you want me to put it up.
yeah, you can do that. And I've got a USA Today one in case I got some slight differences there.
Okay.
Like
And they also,
they did mention the Bears coming back for season 4 today on Hulu.
I've never watched that. Have you?
I started the first season and then I got away from it. And I know people like Kevin and Brandy watch it; they love it. A lot of people do. I need to get back in and watch it. It's one of the ones that I don't think of until I see something advertised about it. I'm like, oh, I'm already watching something else, and
that's in Hulu.
Yeah, and they're dropping all 10 episodes at once, so you'll be able to stream that. So I think that a lot of they're doing still some weekly, but they're realizing that the weekly releases is not helping their overall numbers.
Yeah, the viewership has changed. You have to be a show that the public mind wants to see to survive weekly releases now. Otherwise, you got to drop the whole season at once. People don't want to watch week to week.
Or you got to do like they're doing, or you got to do like what they're doing with like Wednesday and Stranger Things is okay. You're getting this the beginning of this month, and then a month later you get the second half.
Yeah,
doing them, where they say here's the first half, then you have to wait like almost a year for the second half. Well, that's just another season. Don't even call it a shared season at that point. So
yeah. And then the 29th, I didn't even know about that. I'm guessing it's season 2 because online it says this was from 2024, season 1. So Nautilus on AMC, it's based on 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea.
Yeah, I was just bringing up the trailer. See if I can find the
let's
trailer on
look
that
that
because
up
this
then.
looks interesting on this because I always
never
like
even heard of it.
I hadn't either. So this should be interesting. Turn off the. So let this off. There we go. All right, give me a second here. But yeah, I like the Disney 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. I like the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen where they included Nautilus in that.
Yep.
So I've not seen much of anything with this. I've always thought, why we don't see more? So let's see what this is all about too. So,
and like I said, I think this must be season 2.
These things we were seeing that no one has ever seen.
The corporation's more powerful than any country. We must maintain dominance. That is why the Nautilus was developed.
I can taste freedom, Nemo.
It's now or never.
This is Nemo. We are taking control of
The Nautilus.
We'll use it to escape. Start the engine.
A submersible ship.
She is mine. I want her back.
If you're looking for someone to bring Nemo back in chase, I'm your man. I'm gonna burn the whole damn company to the ground.
This man is holding me against my will. When will I be free?
If I had any choice in the matter, I would never set eyes on you again.
Oh, utterly charming.
This Nemo. What did you make of him?
He is a convict.
He is a pirate.
Stubborn,
Brave.
angry.
Nemo this, Nemo that. Could he be this? Is he that?
Tell me.
Where are they headed?
The Northeast Passage. There are treasures there beyond a man's imagination.
You must take us all on board this
Submarine.
Exactly.
I'll see your hunt until the ends of the earth.
You'll be hunting in the wrong place.
Doesn't matter whether you chose to be here or not.
All that matters is that we are each other's best hope.
This is going to be such fun.
Well, that's a new series. So maybe
yeah,
it is
that's
season
AMC.
1.
Yeah,
I
so
wonder
that's
why
just,
it says 2024 online.
I don't know. That's
When on it says 2024 action adventure.
it's a British 10-part series, so maybe it got
Gotcha.
released over there first.
And then AMC bought the rights or something.
Yeah. First episode date was June 12th, 2024 in the UK.
Okay.
It said Amazon Prime Video originally.
Okay.
So that must have been the UK version. So,
well, it looks very well done. The production value looks very good, especially for a TV series.
yes. Yeah, I definitely I'm interested in watching that. That looks fun. It reminds me of several other series, a little bit of that Black Sail that was on HBO at one time.
Yep.
There's a little Game of Thrones-ish there in terms of
little Pirates of the
scale.
Caribbean.
Pirates, yep.
Yeah, it looks like a good blend of all that. Interesting.
Yeah, I definitely am going to check that out. That looks good.
Yeah. And let's see, Sandman. You're looking forward to that one.
Yeah, that
3rd.
comes out in a couple days. They're doing more of that, and that should be a lot of fun.
Is that what you said before? Netflix?
Yeah, it's Netflix. Yep.
Okay.
So,
and is this now? This says Volume 1. Isn't this the second season?
it's unless they're calling it all one volume. I don't realize that, but they got a bunch out there you can watch already. So,
Yeah, they came out last year.
yep.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay.
Yeah, it's
Let's
2
see.
seasons. It came actually in 2022, so it's been out for a couple of years now.
Okay.
So I don't know why they call that Volume 1, unless it's the whole thing is going to be Volume 1, and there's going to be another volume of something down the road.
Maybe. Oh,
Yeah,
July
so
9th. It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. That's still making. I thought that was off the air. That's
it
still
seems like that
going.
never goes away. Yeah. Okay, here we go. So it is season 2, volume 1, episodes 1 through 6 on July 3rd, followed by volume 2, episodes 7 through
Okay.
11 on July 24th, and then
I
July
see.
31st will be a special bonus episode.
I think they
So
should
it's
call it season 2, part
Yeah.
1.
Yeah, not volume. That's what they should. Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's
All right. I got
yeah.
it now.
Yeah.
Okay. Good to know.
Yeah.
And let's see. They got regular TV on here like Big Brother and stuff. But another one I'm looking forward to that I do want to see is on Paramount Plus and Showtime is Dexter Resurrection. That's the new Dexter series coming out.
Yep.
I talked about that a couple weeks ago. From the trailer, it looks like there's a Peter Dinklage is in it, and he's a collector of serial killers, and it's almost like, I don't know, but from the trailer, it looks like he's almost like pitting these serial killers against each other or something, but hard to tell.
Okay.
But that'll be interesting. So July 11th, I'm looking forward to that. I gotta make a list of all these so I don't forget stuff.
Yeah, it does get away if you're not careful. So
yeah. Let's see. You don't watch Dexter. Do you have Apple TV?
I don't.
I don't either. So there's a couple things that look interesting.
I have access to some of the stuff on Apple TV. I just don't have it directly. Like I did watch. Oh, that's what I did watch. I watched a movie on there a couple weeks ago. It was the search for the what is? Oh, God, blinking on it. It was a pretty good movie. I enjoyed it. This stupid thing will go. Come on. Or is this Fountain of Youth? It was called The Fountain of Youth. I did watch that on Apple.
Oh yeah,
that was good. It was fun. It's a mix of The Mummy, the Brendan Fraser Mummy, with National Treasure and everything else. It wasn't like the greatest thing ever, but it's definitely fun to watch. Natalie Portman was in it. John Krasinski's stars in it with her. They have a kid involved because you got to throw a kid in and all this stuff like that. But it was fun. It was definitely worth watching. It's something I would watch again.
Yeah.
And that Domhnall Gleeson's in it. Him from Star Wars, The Force Awakens and all that. He was also in the Harry Potter stuff. He played one of the Weasleys. His dad was Mad Eye Mooney in real life. Plays his real life dad plays Mad Eye Mooney. Stanley Tucci's in it for a bit. So definitely worth checking out if you get a hold of some Apple TV stuff.
All right.
So
that's good.
And then I watched that. I know there's some other stuff on there. That's supposed to be pretty good. I just haven't really caught up on a lot of that.
Let's see. 17th of July, Star Trek Strange New Worlds is coming back.
Oh, finally. Just in time for San Diego. Jeez.
Yeah. That, I feel like it's been 2 years since the last season.
Something like that, yeah. It feels longer.
Yeah. I was just reading an article about that too, is a lot of these season 2s are dying on streaming, and they were talking about, the issue isn't the episodes, it's how long they're taking to come out that people just forget about them and they go off of people's radar.
Yeah, it's been 2 years. So yeah, and that is part of the problem. And we've talked a little bit about that too, of having to wait so long. I think part of the problem is they wait till they get numbers back to renew it.
Yeah.
And to get good streaming numbers, you have to wait, and they film it, and it's like a year later they're coming out with it, where network TV is like right now they're getting ready to start filming all their stuff for fall. They'll start here towards mid to late July here for releases in September. Right. And they get a little more back. They renew them, basically them under contract if they get renewed. So they go right into finish their production up, around like by February, March. And then they already know they're coming back in July for that series, where this stuff here is filmed like movies. Like, here's your movie contract, but it's a series. And then they have to re-sign them all to come back if they haven't done that. Or it's like, or work around everybody's schedule because they take so much time in between where they don't plan it out.
Right.
So, but yeah, no, I'm definitely looking for Strange New Worlds. I love that series. It is guaranteed. They did announce last week, I think it was, it's going to be 5 seasons total. So there is 2 more seasons coming. So the thing about it's one of the things where it's like, it sucks. Like, it's going to end in 2 more seasons, but at the same time, we know it's going to have a definite ending that'll
Mhm.
lead it into the original Star Trek as it's supposed to, because it is technically
Correct.
a prequel series.
Yeah, I wonder how much, because it's all based on the pilot, The Cage, for
Yeah.
the original Star Trek and the characters there. Those who don't know, Captain Kirk wasn't in the original pilot. It was Captain Pike, which is who Anson Mount plays in this.
Yeah, really, the
So
only one that the original ones that was Spock, and then
yes,
Majel Barrett played like the second in command, but then she was demoted to Nurse Chapel, and she
Mhm.
did the voice of the ship. And they basically went to except for Uhura did like an all male cast.
right.
So
Oh, very good. Let's
Yeah.
see what else is coming out here. We got there's a July 24th is volume 2 or part 2 of Sandman
right.
on Netflix. So there's that. I
Yeah.
don't know what this Twisted Metal is. I've never
Oh,
seen that.
Oh, that's on Peacock. It was good. It's based on the
Was it?
the original video game. It stars Anthony Mackie, and it's almost kind of a world. Okay, it's a post-apocalyptic world where they basically there's a race that different things have and this is one with the clown. It sets his head on fire. It was a fun series to watch. I'm looking forward to the second season.
Oh, no. July 31st, that's coming.
Yeah, so if you get a chance to check that out on Peacock, definitely check that out.
Nice. Let's see. August 6th, Wednesday, part 1.
Yep, definitely looking forward to that. That should be a lot of fun. Like in a little bit they've let out already. I think we're gonna get more Fester. We're gonna have Pugsley throughout the series now because he comes to the school.
Mm-hmm.
So it sounds like the whole Addams family is going to kind of be more involved in the whole series this time.
Yeah,
but it's not. But it's still a Wednesday centered show, which I like that.
Outlander's coming back. I don't watch that, but I know they have a huge following.
Mm-hmm.
So that's August 8th if you're into Outlander, and then August 12th. I don't have Hulu, but I might get it for this. Alien Earth is coming out.
Now, do you have
really good to me?
Do you have Disney Plus?
I do.
It should pop up in there. They've merged a lot of the Hulu stuff with Disney Plus.
Don't you have to get the higher subscription to?
I don't know. I get it with my. I've always had it with my Verizon because it's cheaper that way. I add it right to my cell bill, and then I've gotten I get all those. So but it's just all. Yeah. I can watch it either on Hulu or I can watch it on Disney Plus. So I don't know.
Okay, I'll have to look into that.
Yeah, but definitely have to check out this Alien Earth and see how that goes.
Yeah, it looks excellent. It feels very much like the last Alien movie, which I really liked. What was that one called?
Oh, it's the ship one.
Yeah, what was the name of the ship?
Yeah, and that's the name of the series.
But I really liked the way they did the movie.
Yeah, Romulus.
Romulus, there you go.
Yeah. Yeah, because after Prometheus, it was like, what the hell is this? And they did Alien Covenant, which really sucked. And then Romulus. Romulus was good. It was a great reboot to the franchise.
Yep.
Which they need. They need to stick to those good storytelling things and not try to do these crazy, stories that really just suck. I mean, that's what it is. It was bad writing and everything else. So
right. Let's see, Butterfly. I don't know what that is. That's on Prime.
USA's got a new The Rainmaker, August 15th. It's a law firm. It's a law one. So it's a powerful law firm, and by this guy Leo Drummond and his girlfriend Sarah. Another thing, a dark conspiracy that shows how far his opponents are willing to go to win. So it could be another like suit style show. Could be a little bit more. The cast has like John Slattery's in it. I recognize him. John Grisham's producing it. Oh, that's what it is. Yeah, it's a John Grisham book, The Rainmaker.
Okay.
So they've made a series of that.
Oh, yeah.
Lana Parrilla from Once Upon a Time. She played the evil queen, is going to be in it. So that might be a decent one. I mean, it's not technically streaming. It's USA Today, but it always pops up on the streaming right afterwards.
August 21st, they have Peacemaker on HBO Max. I think they're crossing him over into the new DC universe too. I think they're.
Yeah, I think it's because it's what's his name that did it. He's overseeing DC. James Gunn. This is his baby. He kind of wrote it I think in the first season to kind of bridge it into the new DC universe stuff. So,
well, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't really watch it. Is he kind of like Daredevil in that he breaks the fourth wall and talks to the audience too? I mean, definitely his references are references.
I don't remember so much talking to the audience so much, but he's definitely a lot more crass, rude. Doesn't care about swearing. Definitely.
And the way he talks, though, is more like how comic book fans like reference, like some of the arguments people make about Batman, or like he'll have those in there.
Yeah, and he always talks about
Batman's a pansy,
and he's got his prowess. He talks about his prowess and the size of his junk. So
yeah, I always like the interaction. I see it online all the time. Like this old neighbor of his, and he's like, "Well, you don't have a cadre of super villains." He's like, "You know why? Because I kill mine." Batman's a pansy. All he does is put them in jail and they get back out.
Yeah, and that's the whole thing. He's definitely a lot more. Yeah, for what he is, he's one of those. He's not even he's definitely the anti-hero.
Yeah.
He's got, you could say like a Deadpool mixed with a Punisher. Mixed with a Superman style, not really full Superman, but even Batman or whatever. But
yeah,
I don't know. So, but yeah, in terms of August, there's a couple other things I got listed here. I don't really see too much else.
Okay.
Definitely in September, there's some stuff coming out. We got Wednesday season 2 is going to be September 3rd.
Yeah, this only has a couple of things. Wednesday, September 3rd. The morning show on Apple TV. Is that Jennifer Aniston one?
Yeah. I guess people really like that one. I watched the first season and it was all right because I had Apple TV then.
Who else is in it with her?
Isn't it Reese Witherspoon?
Okay, that's what I thought. Then Gen V, September 17th. That I'm looking for. When it feels like forever since we had anything boys related, because there's one more season of Boys, right?
At least, yeah. And I think that's not coming out for a while because I think they just wrapped filming on that. So
did they? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's another one where it feels like it's taken forever, but
yeah, they got 4 seasons of that since 2019. But yeah, and it's been a year since the last season came out for that one. But I'm not sure when season 5 is coming out. So and they're saying like season 5 is the last season, expected to air next year. So I don't know when in next year. So, but they have just recently finished wrap on that.
Yeah. So, and they're kind of bouncing the story back and forth between Gen V and Boys. So Boys was out last. Now Gen V will kind of carry it forward. And then it'll go back to the Boys.
Yeah, this will be interesting. This is if they're when they tied into the Boys was same universe, but you really didn't tie it until the end. And now we'll see where they take everything going forward, how it goes around there. So,
well, in the end of the Boys had a tie-in to Gen V, and then we also have they're going to have to deal with the death of the real life actor who was playing a major character in JV.
Yes. Yeah.
He died motorcycle crash, if I remember right.
Yeah, that was a big surprise. So that was not unexpected because he was also in Sabrina on Netflix.
Yes. Yep.
He's a good actor. I liked him a lot. I was looking forward to seeing him go down the road. But yeah, that was I believe it was Chance. Chance Perdomo. He died in March of last year. And so he's in Sabrina. He did a bunch of other stuff. But yeah, he was young.
Yeah.
So.
2 things that weren't on that list is Ironheart came out yesterday on Disney Plus.
Yep. Definitely seeing some mixed reviews on that.
Yeah, I'm not interested in it. That was supposed to be released like a year ago or so.
I think they just released it just to release it. They're not giving it much fanfare. You got. I've seen some posts like Robert Downey Jr. and some of the other people that are trying to praise it so it'll get a little viewership. But it's my understanding is this is done, one and done, and we probably won't see the character again.
So according to this, August 6th, animated series comes out on Disney Plus called Eyes of Wakanda. And it says where Ironheart closes the book on phase 5 of the MCU, Eyes of Wakanda is the official first Disney Plus series to kick it off.
Okay.
So I'm guessing kick off phase 6, I'm guessing. Let's see. It traces the history of Wakanda and follows the nation's warriors so it's kind of a prequel type series, I'm guessing, to show how Wakanda formed.
Yeah.
So that's coming out. Generally speaking, I like the animated stuff that comes out, so I'll probably check that out.
And it looks like it covers quite a bit of different things. They have like a little quick summary. Says there's something like the Wakanda Special Forces, the covert ones. It's a place called the Wakanda CIA. It'll follow these warriors, embark on missions throughout history to retrieve dangerous vibranium artifacts. So it's just see how that falls into all this. It's considered canon. It's not a what if, so it is, supposed to be there. So there may be something in that may somewhere directly tie into a live action, but not so much as a standalone Black Panther series or anything, or Wakanda series.
Very good. Nothing Star Wars anywhere. I think we're done with Star Wars till next year.
Yeah, the next thing we get is going to be the Mandalorian Grogu movie in May, followed in August. It should be the Ahsoka series.
Yeah, I keep hearing mixed things on the Ahsoka series that I don't know if they're. And the movie, I've heard a couple times about delays, so I don't know if they're truly reworking story or what. So we'll see. I mean, August is when Kennedy's supposed to step down, so we'll see if she will relinquish the reins, and then because I'm assuming. Because there's really nothing out there as far as news announcements. I think they're really waiting until she's gone before they announce the future of things.
Yeah. Well, the delay for the Mandalorian one was supposed to be released in December of this year originally, and they moved it to May. But I think that was because they moved all like the Avengers to the following December. So I think that was more of trying to have a larger release in May.
Yeah. But in an interview I saw with Filoni, sounds like he's still rewriting scenes and adding to it to accommodate new things that they're planning down the road. So he's trying to work in little subplots that will grow down the road, is what it sounded like from the interview I saw with him. So I don't know where they're at with it. But Star Wars, they're usually good about keeping their lips sealed.
Well, it is all Filoni doing that one. And the only thing I'm seeing from April, I mean, he talked about there's an article on MovieWeb explaining why it's taking a long time to make them, and he is tying them in together. It sounds like in some ways, he's working on very large arcs. He's trying to create it simultaneously, looking and say, well, how do you do unique things? But I don't think it's so much. I personally don't think if there's any truth to, there's a problem versus what.
Oh yeah, I don't think there's a problem.
What Filoni's ultimate goal is with it, and having the extra time now, he may have said, okay, since I have extra time to have it ready for May, then he was able to go in and rework some things,
right?
To get that ready to, and also because right now he's working on Ahsoka now. So I believe they start filming it. If they haven't started filming, they start filming in the next month or so. But that is, he already said a couple months ago that it's good, and at the Japanese celebration, it's going to be very heavy on some of the space battles. He's putting a lot more into that than they've ever had on the series stuff. And I think that might be some of the part of change. And it sounds like he's going more towards the Heir to the Empire-ish style story without doing that full story, because he can't. It's different with what he's got for characters. But it gives him that opportunity to deal more within that aspect, and hopefully maybe even from there launch the next iteration of what really Star Wars is going to be. We know Starfighter's coming out after that at some point, which is set 5 years after Rise of Skywalker. That's what they said originally. But I think we'll see what's going to happen in all of that and where they're going to go with that. So
yeah, and what we don't hear anything on is the Rey movie.
Because it was a lie.
I know.
And the sad is that she dragged Daisy Ridley into it.
Yeah, I think she was an unwitting pawn.
Oh yeah, she was called up and said, "We're going to do this," and brought her out.
Palpatine's plot.
Yeah, because it was like Daisy Trope. I haven't seen the script. This is new to me. I was just told about it, and they brought it based out on stage. So I think it was a shame that she was using that way because it's kind of I've talked about. The Last Jedi definitely sucks. The Rise of Skywalker was an attempt to fix the problems from Last Jedi. It still didn't, come out as a great movie because they messed up the whole John Boyega's character with Finn. It was they went this whole direction that really didn't feel as originally where they should have been going. But yeah, it's a shame they tried to. Because I'd like to I wouldn't mind seeing more Rey if it's done right and they tell a solid story.
Yeah, it just Rey has to be developed under Filoni's leadership, not under Kathleen Kennedy's. Rey was a great character, just needs Kennedy's fingers out of the pot. Yeah. Here's a story from 5 days ago from Movie Insider. Says Rey Skywalker Star Wars movie not shelved, and but here's the technicality. Whoever this person is, Scooper Daniel Reitman claimed they haven't. Scooper Daniel Reitman claimed it was shelved, but then this other person, Jeff Snyder from the In Snyder, however, says it's still in active development. But they don't have a script yet, but it's not on hold.
Yeah.
They've been writing this script?
These are all clickbait articles that pop up because these are the same jackoffs that we keep posting. Well, Rian Johnson's still doing his trilogy. No, he's not. He's not doing anything. He's doing his Knives series of movies, and he's doing Poker Face and a couple other things. Yeah. But no, so it's not the only thing going on right now. Star Wars is Mandalorian movie and the Ahsoka series, and then they announced the Skywalker. That's the only other project outside of that they've announced.
Well, the problem they're going to face is Mandalorian comes out May of next year. Mm-hmm. We got Fantastic Four coming up, and we also have Pedro Pascal, who needs to learn to shut his freaking mouth. He is going full woke now on his interview circuit, and he's going to start imploding his own projects if he doesn't stop.
Yeah. Well, the beauty of
attacking J.K. Rowling, it's getting out of control with him. I think he's gotten too big for his britches.
Well, with the Mandalorian movie, my understanding is I think he did the voiceover work is all. He's not physically in the movie.
No, I know, but he's the face on the interview circuit is the problem.
So for now, and then so I think that's his run on that's about done after that movie too, because I think that's a hard end for the Mandalorian.
Yeah, but, we'll see what happens with Fantastic Four, but he's starting to go the route of he's starting to sound like the same as these other actresses who came out with their pre-interview stuff, and it sunk The Acolyte, it sunk Snow White, it sunk. Mm-hmm. It never works. You are an actor. Shut up. Talk about your movie and act.
Well, that's the whole thing. Is all this stuff of what the people like these actors and actresses get online there and they want to create these controversies, or they participate in them with the studios. And that I think it's like they need to not participate because the thing is that it's what they're participating in is not always true. Secondly, it takes away from what the movie is. They're talking about you want to talk about your personal fine. You say, this is my soapbox away from promoting the movie and do your own thing.
Start a podcast. You've got a big name. You'll get a big following. You can say your personal views on your time, but when you're promoting a project, keep it about the project.
It's like, now I did go see, aside since we're talking more serious, I did go see last week How to Train Your Dragon live action.
How was it?
I really liked it. I thought they did a great job of translating the animated movie to live action. They added in some stuff because it's a longer movie than the animated. There's a couple little things in there I thought were different. It's been a while since I've watched the first one, so I'm going to have to go back and still watch the first animated because I want to do a compare and contrast on that. They didn't change. They didn't try to go woke. They didn't try to change and add stuff in that shouldn't have been. They stuck to the story. They added some things in a little bit more of the training that Hiccup was doing the against the with the other group of kids, basically, is the best way to put it, than future Vikings. It was good to have Gerard Butler playing the dad, since he did the voice in the anime movies, and he's still physically fit enough to do all that. It translated very well. I'm sure they're going to do more. It's done about 360 million worldwide. The box office is just dull this summer in terms of numbers. It still did well this past weekend for the second week or whatever, third week it's out. 30 something million. It's not great, but for the way the box office is, it's not bad.
Yeah, it's never fully recovered since COVID. Viewing habits have just changed.
Yeah. And the thing is that with Universal launching Epic, one of the worlds is a How to Train Your Dragon portal. And so having a live action movie kind of brings some of that too, though I think they are, and everything was done to make it look like the cartoon. Like Nick Frost played the guy that, the blacksmith that Hiccup works with. That's, one of the main older Vikings. And they had him, of course, with the leg gone and just a bar for a foot and all that stuff. And he's missing an arm. He can change out the different tools, which is pretty cool. Very good. The controversy come out. It's like, as soon as it comes out, they announced the girl that's playing Astrid, who did a fantastic job. I thought she was amazing in this. She was wonderful. I really liked her a lot. It started coming like, the fans are so upset because she's not a blonde white girl, or she's a mixed girl, and they didn't do a blonde wig. And I'm like, where's all this crap coming from? There's obviously, I think it's just manufactured by the studios or the agents, to create this controversy. Like, see, you need to go support this because she's being attacked online. And she even came out and said that she's gotten, some people saying stuff or whatever. I'm like, why even address it? Just allow it to, if they're attacking you, just ignore it. Go and do your thing, promote the movie. She did great. She was fantastic in it. And I definitely look forward to seeing her again in that, and hopefully some other really good stuff, because she's a good actress. Being mixed doesn't mean anything. The color doesn't mean anything. So,
there's two parts to it. You will have a group online where they will just attack.
Because they just attack because they can. They want to create these controversies.
They want they get off on creating the controversy.
Yeah.
And then when it gets reported on about the controversy, they're like, oh, it's me. I did that. So there's that group. But then you got the fan group. And Henry Cavill covers it best. There's an interview with him done a few years back. He was promoting The Witcher. And the interviewer said, well, you got toxic fans out there who get mad and will protest and all this. And Cavill's answer was perfect. He said, listen, it's a fan's right to have an opinion. It's a fan's right to be upset if they feel it's not being portrayed their way. And he said, that doesn't make it toxic. That's passion. And he said, when you have a character in your head that is a certain way, and now it's no longer that way, you feel like you don't know that character. It's no longer the character. So you have a right to speak out. So even with Astrid, you've got a live action interpretation that is so faithful to everything, like everything they're showing online, at least. It's like shot by shot by shot. And then you have a character where in your head, it's a very specific character, and now it's not. So it's okay if people at first are like, oh, what the heck? That doesn't mean it's racist. It just means this character doesn't fit the character I know. Now, if you do a great job portraying it, you're going to win the fans over. And the example I always use is the new Battlestar Galactica. It came out like 20 years ago. But that version, Starbuck was very hard to take at first because it was so different from what we knew. But she's a fan favorite now. People love her as Starbuck.
Right.
Even now. She won everyone over because she portrayed it. She did such a great job. And now it's actually hard to go back to the old version and watch that because she redefined the role so well.
Yeah.
So,
well, this is a nice little comparison of the animated versus the live action, and they went a little darker. And realistically, as a Viking, she probably would have had darker hair, only because of the their climate and everything else. They wouldn't have all been blonde and everything else. But even that, you look at it, it's not like they said, well, here's this black girl. Can't say African American, she's British. Black girl. And then it's playing a white girl. She's someone that's mixed who does have fairer skin, and I personally think it fit in perfect. And the thing was that I liked with the live action is they explained the role of this island is different than you kind of get from the animated that I remember. It's everybody came from different tribes basically, and
Yeah.
and they're all there. So they explained the fact that while they had in the live action, different people of different races, from Asian to black and everything else, because they all came from different parts of the world together to the Isle of Berk to fight the dragons. That was the whole point. And I like that they expounded on the universe that. So there's a lot more they're expanding within the live action that they could go and they did a pretty much a shot for shot with some added scenes of the live action versus the animated. Now they can go forward. But I thought it was just ridiculous that every single, and then we've talked about before, every single thing coming out anymore, they try to create the same stupid controversy. The fans they always say the fans. And it's not even like, trying to say, well, someone posted, and it's usually like hardly anybody. The fans are upset that she's not a blonde, blue-eyed white girl. The fans are upset the stormtrooper is black. The fans are, and all this stuff. I'm looking, none of the fans that I know or see ever say any of that crap.
Yeah. Well, it goes back to the media wants to create racial divide. That's what they want. So, going back to the Finn thing, it's just because somebody doesn't like something doesn't mean it's racist. The whole issue with the Finn thing was the more casual fan thought stormtroopers were clones. So it's not that he wasn't white. It was he didn't look like Jango Fett. They thought he should look like he's from New Zealand because that's where the actor was from. He's New Zealander. So there's confusion. And it's like, well, wait a minute. Why is he black? He's supposed to look like Jango Fett. And it's like, oh, they're racist. They didn't like him. No, it's just they're not hyper nerds like us where they realize stormtroopers and clones are different.
Yeah.
That's all that was.
It was the same thing with the Rogue One come out. It was like, oh my God, they didn't show the Bothans. It's like, no, that was Return of the Jedi.
Return of the Jedi.
That was
even
the different
picture you just showed of Astrid.
Yeah.
I thought that was a white actress. I didn't even think
she is very fair skin.
But for me, my initial reaction is that's not Astrid. But it's not like, oh, I hate this person for playing the role. No, it's just that's not Astrid in my head. Now, if I go see it and she does a great job, guess what? It will be Astrid in my head moving forward.
And that's her.
I would think she's white.
Yeah, she's a very fair skin.
Yeah.
But she was on the Today Show. I happened to catch it a couple weeks ago before the movie opened, and they had them there. And you can see she's a little more tanner, of course, probably because she's been out in the sun a lot more and she tanned up like anybody would. But even if she'd been full black, I personally wouldn't care because it's a character that, they're exploring here that even in animated, she was just there. They made, they did the standard Vikings, and this one here, they're creating this whole new Viking world.
Yeah.
That's a little different than even the animated stuff. But she did a great job. And when she talked about her being a boss bitch, Astrid in the animated was a boss. She was tough, and she was the toughest of the younger Vikings.
I wouldn't say she was a boss bitch. I hate that term.
I do too.
To me, Astrid was a tomboy.
Yeah. Well, no, she was a tomboy, but she was definitely the toughest of the younger crowd of Vikings.
Yeah.
But they translated
tomboy
that
is
very
different
well.
From boss bitch. Boss bitch is a self-entitled woman who just thinks she's better than men.
Well, I guess what I refer to as a boss, and as boss is she owned the role, she owned the character, and as the character translated well. But even then, they didn't make her character better than everybody else just to be better. There was reason behind it,
right?
And the thing was, she was good at what she did. And then, just like we saw in the animated movie, the Hiccup character came about and learned things. And they showed him learning this stuff, of course, with his interaction with Toothless and learning about dragons. They had the big book of dragons, which the one character knew everything about because he read it, but still didn't know how to apply it. And then, things that, Hiccup found out about, like, oh, they don't like, the eels. Eels, like this. You hold your hand out and turn your head away. They come up to your hand. And you can basically, it's kind of like the Harry Potter and the hippogriffs. You have to bow first and things like that. So, and then he, they showed the whole relationship with him and Toothless really got a little more involved and wasn't as rushed it was as the animated show.
Yeah.
So, but no, I thought she did a great job, but I definitely would go see that. Yeah. I go see it again. I can't wait to do another one. I'll definitely have to revisit the animated ones. I love the animated ones.
Let's see. The animated ones, they had 2 movies and a series, right?
3 movies and a series.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of content there.
Yeah, and the series, I watched some of that. It was the Isle of Berk. But it was it was like a in between the couple of the movies. The third movie you've got was kind of an ending, though. They talk about doing a fourth one, but the third one had more of an ending to it. But yeah, they had like, what was it? Here we go. Legends of. Let's see here, there's a bunch of them.
I really enjoyed the first one. I never got into the rest.
Yeah.
I felt like the first one kind of, for me, was a complete story by itself.
It is. It was kind of like Star Wars. It was like, here's the ending. It was a good ending. And then when you come back to number two, they the second movie, animated one, it was like 5 years later or whatever, 4 or 5 years later it came out, and you've got now they aged up, Hiccup and everybody, and they have a new there's a mysterious dragon rider joins forces. They have this whole thing going on with that. They built up everything around it to around. It was mentioned in the first one. They even did it in the movie about Hiccup's mother, and she disappeared, or was killed by a dragon. Is how they put it. But she's gone, and she does make an appearance in the stuff later on. So, but it's like if you go and look at the cast they had for. The animated, it's like they could bring back Kate Blanchett as a character in that. She's older, but she's definitely gonna play that. America Ferrera did the voice of Astrid, and she's definitely not a blonde, blue-eyed woman. So, but yeah, they aged him up to like 20 years old, so they aged Hiccup to, and then they made him a little older after that for the third one. So, but I would say this: if you like the first one, go watch the other two animated ones, and then also watch the live action.
Nice.
So.
Oh, good. Well, it's nice they did a good job with the live action.
It's probably the best live action I've seen.
Seems like a while since they haven't screwed up a live action remake.
The only one I've liked of the live action remakes prior to this was Beauty and the Beast. It wasn't great. I thought there were some things that felt they tried to go a little too edgy in some ways, but they changed the story a little bit, but they expanded it more in terms of the residents of the Beast Castle and how they tied into things, and that which you didn't get in the animated was that the castle and the town were all kind of linked together magically, and the people that worked at the castle were from the town. So, so that kind of helped make expand that a little bit, and so I thought it was better than some of the other ones. I still haven't seen the Lion King ones because I look at it going, okay, it's just live action animated. There's nothing.
Yeah, it's not actually live action. It's all CGI, just higher end CGI.
Yeah, I'd rather go watch the animated movies and watch Lion King 1, Lion King 2, and then Lion King 1.5 animated was always kind of fun because it was Lion King 1, but from the perspective of Timon and Pumbaa, which made it even funnier. So, and then they do this though, and even Universal's doing this with the How to Train Your Dragon. It extends their copyrights to some of the newer laws that have happened in the last just 15, 20 years to say, okay, well, we have this character now, we've done this new movie, now we got 95 years of copyright on this particular story and this version of this character. So I think that's why they do that. Same thing with even though like Mickey got it initially, but that 95 years is long gone with the Steamboat Willie, but it's that version of Mickey that's the only one that's available. And then the next couple of years, as some other versions come out, they'll become public domain. So, but
interesting.
Yeah,
there you go.
So that's a lot of stuff that's going on. So,
do you watch the 28 year laters and those?
I saw the first two and I liked them. I haven't had a chance. The new one just came out. Some people are posting they like it. So I'm not sure if I have time to go see it. I got such a busy month coming up.
Yeah, that's another one I haven't gotten into. I watched a little bit of the first one and I don't know, it just didn't grab me.
Yeah, well, it's literally been over 20 years since I've watched them. I watched them when they first initially came out, and that was it.
Let's see. And then this upcoming weekend, I heard good things about the F1 movie with Brad Pitt. I heard it's amazing on IMAX.
See, I think visually it looks like it'd be amazing to watch on a bigger screen. I looked at it. It's funny. So Mom doesn't watch movies, but she watched the one on what was that? When it came out a couple years ago, Grand Prix is based on the video game, but they did a live action. Mom goes, it looks like that one, but different.
Yeah. Well, those Days of Thunder, and I just don't get into racing movies usually.
Yeah.
So
I like the one that came out a couple years ago. That was pretty good. And that one had David Harbour in it.
Was that the one where they hired the video game guy to be their real?
Yeah, because he was. Gran Turismo.
Story.
Yeah, that was loosely based on a true story. The fact the kid that was playing the character, that was the actual guy who was, and he played the actual guy did all the driving. But he played, and it didn't do very well. I think it did okay. I liked it. I really wanted to see it, so I ended up buying it when it came out because I was like, well, I'm going to buy it because I didn't get a chance to go see it. And being based on a true story, I think it helped it a little bit. They changed some things from the real story in that, but to give it more of a dramatic feel. But I liked that aspect of it, and it was he did from Gran Turismo, and he went through training school and things like that. They rushed the training stuff, of course, for the movie compared to what he really did in real life. But he still races to this day, is my understanding. So
okay.
And I said, oh, that was cool, and it kind of showed that these video games, especially like Gran Turismo, have gotten very realistic.
Oh yeah,
and these
flight simulators.
Yeah. So a lot of that stuff is I did do a simulator a couple of years ago at the Henry Ford. They had one where you could actually drive like an F1, and and I'll tell you this, that is not easy to do. If it's like that in real life, that was very difficult. You felt the pressure on the wheel.
You're going like 200 miles per hour.
Well, it was done in more of a street thing, so you got up to 100 something miles an hour. But even then, it was the way things are going, and you got the screens and everything else. You're bolted in because this thing's moving and shaking, and it definitely was an experience. It was fun to try it out. It definitely showed, that's because you think you can drive down the highway doing 100 miles an hour in your F-150 because you're a Jagoff. You could drive this. No, not every. You really need to learn, train, and to be actually in a real vehicle with the real pressure and everything else going on. Yeah, that'd be a whole different thing. But yeah, it was neat to feel it, and you got to watch it. It's like you couldn't just go. You had to like lighter turns because those wheels they go quick. So
high response.
Yep. So, but yeah, so I mean, should see that F1. I don't know if I'll have a chance to go see it, but if you do, I think IMAX may be the way to go.
Well, maybe next week we can cover the movies that come out in July and August. Looks like a bunch are coming out.
Yeah, we got a lot of stuff coming up. We've mentioned a couple like the Fantastic Four. They got the new Superman coming out, things like that. So
maybe we can cover those.
Yeah, so we'll cover some of those come out in July, August, and into September then next week.
Yeah,
so.
That'd be good. All right. Excellent. That's it for me.
Yep. Y'all have a good one, and we will see you, I guess, next Wednesday, just before a couple days for the 4th of July. So
that's true. Yeah. Look at that. July 2nd.
Yep. Right. Bye.